The time is 3:46 p.m., December 18th, 2024. I got hit with a biological weapon again. Oh, I'm certain it's something like that. When the time comes and I'm able to describe these very important details, I will, but it's not relevant to the fact that it's still ongoing, and that's what I'm out to do when it's safe, when I can, when I'm at liberty, when I'm allowed, when I'm clear. I report what's happening. Okay, so they're using these, what I strongly believe are biological agents. Whatever they are, they're using them, and it's a poisonous gas. Call it what you will. I just got hit with it again, so I am reporting that. And while I have anyone's attention, I'd like to clarify that the good GRU, the good Russian military, does not at any cost. Let me plug my ear or put the sound machine on. Here, let's do this. Okay, the good GRU, the good Russian military, like Lavrov, he's so smart and so skilled. Lavrov and Lavrov's guys in the military, right, would never stay in any country, no matter how big or small, just because they got into the country's main military headquarters. So let's say this is a scenario. Let's say Lavrov and his good guys, because that's some of the guys that saved my life, are the good GRU. I love Lavrov. I want him to come to my wedding. It's like a little dream I have. Okay, so let's say that Lavrov and his guys are sitting around and they say, you know what? If we stay at this military headquarters in this foreign country, we're going to get hit with nukes in Russia. We're going to get hit with the full throttle here. They would then say, Lavrov and these military experts in the GRU would say, it's not worth it. This is not worth it. All right. So let me just be very clear, since I had everyone's attention, and I wanted to take advantage of that because I misquoted and misspoke about the good Russian military. They're some of the best out there, okay? They're very, very smart people in the good Russian military. It's not just because they saved my life. It's because of the strong strategy and military principle that they have going back to Lenin. Going back to the beginning of Marxism, communism. They installed it probably before that, but I'm not an expert on this. But they installed highly intelligent individuals for counter this and counter that. All these different agencies, just counter espionage, counter terrorism, just name it. They're some of the best in the world. I really, really want to pay compliments to the Russians on that behalf. They're not the ones who came in here and got into the Pentagon and refused to leave. The people in the Russian military, they're allegiant to Putin. The people who, like one just got blown up in Russia, okay? They're enlisted. They're white nationalists, and they're for the Iranian invasion. They're helping the country of Iran with the white nationalists. It's a pure copy of here. So the Arabs and the white ones, this is my words, but this is what's happening. So they got into the Pentagon. The Iranian Guard, everybody knows, would get into the Pentagon and never leave. So that's been done. But the Russian military, the section of the Russian military who did something like that, was Putin's. I always said there's two. There are two Russian militaries, and if you want to do research, you can see that they've been in a civil war. It's very stark, it's very clear, and that was before I even ever came in here. Once I came in here, that's how I encountered the GRU, because there's all this Russian military equipment here. And these cannibals are Putin's. The white nationalist extremist terrorists up and down that street are Putin's. I'm not incorrect in that. I know I stand with my 2 feet firmly on that. I know a thing or two about this place. So Putin's responsible for the cannibalism in my freaking country. I'm very fucking pissed at him. And the good Russian military does have a real problem with their military doing something so stupid. Like I had told you all, they went into the Pentagon and now are refusing to ever leave once they got in there. Even when the freaking country of Russia is going to get hit with way worse than what fucking Ukraine thinks they're doing. Way worse. They have to do it. There's cities and parts of Moscow that they have to bomb. There's parts of Moscow that Putin has taken over. It's like distinctly all white. And they make fun of DC there with all the noise and all the drugs and all these crazy white supremacists here. They see themselves as white nationalists. They see themselves as a cut above, a grade above. They have bookstores where you can actually read a book if you walk in. You don't have to plug your ears at the bookstore. It's just complete madness here. It's a fucking practical joke here. And Putin and all his white nationalists in the Kremlin and that 60% of the Federation politicians, they laugh at us here. They have no respect for our lives. That's their own white supremacists that do anything they're told by the Kremlin. By Putin's Kremlin. Because Lavrov is in the Kremlin too. I hope you can follow this. There was a lot of deception that was taking place, okay? Absolutely, you have Russian fucking military in the Pentagon. It's going to require a lot of deception. You can't tell the Americans, hey, yeah, we're with Vladimir Putin and we're in your Pentagon ordering operations. I don't know the military words. Everybody knows that about me, but I'm trying to really get this over. The Pentagon has been overrun with Russian military for years and with Iranian Guard. That's all I said because that's what is happening. And these two are not going to leave, even if it causes parts of Russia to get really, really, really hit hard. And the good Russian military that is smart would never do something like that. They would pull out. They would talk to Lavrov and say, no, you know what? Let's leave this headquarters. We're smarter than that. We're about to get hit with a really big bomb. Let's not get Russia completely blasted up. Let's go ahead and leave the headquarters. So they have strategy going out the ears, okay? They're very, very smart people, and I don't want to be on record for misquoting. There are two Russian militaries. A lot of the enlisted Russian military that is in my country are crack addicted now. They're crack addicted Russians. They're enlisted in the military. It was worse because a lot of the crap they were doing I witnessed here. Oh, it was worse. They were like madmen. And they were targeting me. I know, but I can't talk about it. It's been fucking horrible. So I did my best, okay? Whoever's listening, I never went to boot camp. I found myself in combat. In my eyes, which I can't wait to tell anyone in real life this, not on the internet, but in my eyes, it was just either I died or I lived, and I better fucking start to figure out what to do. Okay, and that's where I learned about paramilitary and all these things I type about mercenaries. I used to, when I came in here, I couldn't even pronounce paramilitary. I didn't even know what it was. So they thought they had a real hit job on me. They thought they could really just fucking take me out so easy here. Okay, and that's when that kicked in with me. All right, I realized, okay, I'm gonna die or I'm gonna live, and that's the person you are hearing and you see today. That's the person. After 5 years, I learned a lot about paramilitary, mercenaries, military this, military that. Yeah, I learned tons. I learned it here in 1509 S Street Northwest, Washington, D.C. I have learned massive military things. Massive. So I'm actually someone who can hold a very, very good conversation, but I'm not the expert. And so that's why I know enough to know Please go up over my head higher in ranks with so many of your questions. Please, because I'm not equipped to answer them properly. I'm going to go, but I wanted to not misquote the good Russian military. They're not so crazy that they would refuse to leave the Pentagon when it cost them trillions of dollars of damage in bombs being dropped on Moscow. Because that's what's going to happen. Putin's going to die, folks, one way or the other. He can go ahead and think he's in my country and he's in Russia, two places at the same time, but those places are going to be bombed and Putin will be dead. That will be the end of the story. Okay, goodbye.